Holy crap. Welcome back, you guys. For those of you that were here for my little test run yesterday. That is bright. Oh my god. What is that? Ah, it's the sun. I got TikTok to work. Yay! Also, if you guys have noticed, I have a new updated profile picture. And that is by the wonderful, remember I can't read, Angela Arts. She did my profile picture and she updated my new banner. She was very wonderful, took everything that I wanted and put it all together, and I am super duper happy with it. One second, let me just reply to something. Okay. So, we're going to be continuing our playthrough of Silksong. Hopefully the sound and audio is coming through on all platforms, because yesterday it was kind of buggy wuggy. I don't know why, it just does that sometimes. And of course my controller doesn't want to work. Okay, let me just... The sad part is I should know how to spell, but I don't. There we go. We got my thing on. Let's see how audio is going. Let's see if it's coming through or not.
If you're posting without SEO,
Ah! Okay. So I know that I'm live. Welcome, you guys. We're gonna be continuing a new playthrough of Silksong. We're going for an ending that I'm missing. I am trying to make sure that everything is working correctly. For those of you in there, if you want to give me a little tap to let me know, you know, it sounds okay, or if it doesn't sound choppy. I've not actually streamed on TikTok, so whatever the sound is, I'm gonna try my best to fix it. Trying to figure out how to see my live, if that makes sense. Do I have to exit out? Ah, I'm so sorry, guys. Just trying to make sure everything works. Let's see. That's really weird. And it doesn't say. No, it says Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Did I not go on TikTok? No, I'm pretty sure I went on TikTok. Alright, wherever it's working, it's working. We're just gonna have to trust the gods. Let's check TikTok for now. Yep, that's live. Live? Whoop whoop. Holy crap, I have no sound? Or am I just deaf? The volume on my phone wasn't on. Get on the TikTok. I'm trying to get on the TikTok. I'm not doing a good job. I was having some minor mental PTSD issues. So I had a constant stutter that wasn't going away. And I know y'all like to make fun of me, so it would have made the stutter worse. So I took the week off to, like, you know, calm down, relax, get ready for the bullying. Were you in the war? No, but it could be described as a war scene. I've talked about this before. I was on top of a sulfur tank that blew up at work. And everybody thought I died. And I thought I died. But I was okay. Just had some respiratory system issues. Couple of night terrors that didn't go away for well over a year. And we're here. Oh, and then, was it like 6 months after the explosion, I got second-degree burns on both of my arms. I don't know if you can see it. There's like some discoloration here. I got second-degree burns on both my arms. So yeah, that happened. So I struggle with PTSD. I have been pretty good about it for the past 8 or 9 years, but sometimes it does resurface when I get super duper whooper stressed. But it is what it is. They got me on some new happy time medication. 6 months after the explosion, yes. 6 months after so the funny thing is, the only thing I got from the explosion was head trauma and mental darkness, is the best way I can describe it. And then 6 months after, I got sprayed with molten hot, it's called DEA. I don't remember what the whole term is. It's a DEA, but it was super duper hot. It was boiling hot. And I didn't know until it got onto my skin that when it's boiled to that temperature, it becomes a caustic substance. So not only did I get burned, it was eating away at my skin. So they got it off pretty quickly, which is good, but have scars. But do you guys hear me okay? I think that's what my thing was that I was checking. Yes, okay. By any chance, does anybody have TikTok? Ah! Oh, it says I'm live. Oh, I'm here. I can't hear me though. Oh, I'm here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ooh, that is a sound. I think it's because my phone was nearby. That's okay. We're just going to turn that off and hope. I don't think it liked me listening to my telephono. Okay, we're going to turn that off. Okay. And we're going to continue. All right, we are going to be going into, did anything happen with that theft? Oh, were you not here for the story time for that? Oh, I think that's also what triggered my fucking panic attack. Anyways, okay. I can get into it again. I'm not going to do it again. My condolences. So, what happened was, you guys were here. I was getting calls and, like, text messages and whatnot. And it was like, oh, you know, that's really weird. My daughter knows not to call me if there's an emergency. Y'all were here. And I'm like, hi, you know, is she at daycare? Because she was supposed to be at daycare. She's like, yeah, why? I'm like, well, she's calling me, and she's only supposed to call me in an emergency. So I'm just trying to make sure everything's okay. She's like, yeah, she's right here. She's playing, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, because she keeps calling me. It's like, she's calling you. She's like, no, she's right here. Let me look for her watch. And sure enough, she couldn't find her watch. And then, like, I was on stream, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I go on my phone, I'm like, it's at the school. So I'm like, okay, that means it's at the school. And you guys remember I was debating. I'm like, should I go deal with this? I probably should go deal with this. I was like, fuck. Okay, so I got off stream. Y'all were like, record it, which I should have. I went down to the school, and there was a secretary there. Yes! They didn't want to accuse nobody. Okay, hold on. For the people that are joining the chat, hold on, let me finish the story. So I got to the school, and I'm like, hi, you know, completely polite. My daughter seems to have misplaced her watch, and it looks like somebody has it. They keep calling me, and I would like to get it back. And she's like, okay, well, what's the child's name that has the watch? And I'm like, well, I don't know the child's name. They took it from my daughter. They're not supposed to have it, so I can't give you a name. And she's like, oh, well, let me call the teacher and see what she has to say. So she was on the phone and whatnot. Mind you, the child is still texting me and sending me audio voice messages to me on my phone. And I'm like, oh, this little bastard, right? And I'm like, okay, take phone to watch, take watch to office, please turn in, da da da. And then I get a little audio message that goes, no, 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 no. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna start arguing with the kid. And then, like that, while that's happening, she was a substitute secretary, but the point is she was there. And she's like, oh, yeah, unfortunately, since you don't know who it is, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, oh, well, that's very strange. And I'm like, I can make the phone ring and we'll know exactly who has it. And she goes, yeah, even if the phone is ringing and the child is in front of us with the watch in hand, even though you're making it ring and you know it's yours, we can't confiscate it from them. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, because you know that would be us accusing them, and we don't know how it came in contact with them. We don't want to make them feel bad for if they don't know what's going on. You know, that could be really bad for their self-esteem. I'm like, okay, but the watch is stolen. You know it's mine. She's like, yeah, but you know, we're just gonna have to wait for them to turn it in. And I'm like, so what you're telling me is you can't help me? She's like, yeah, you know, unfortunately, we're just gonna have to wait. And I'm like, okay, so then I have to call the authorities. And I think she thought I was joking. And she's like, no, we don't have to do anything like that. You know, kids are kids. You know, stuff like this happens all the time. We're just going to have to wait. And I'm like, okay, and theft is theft. And you're basically telling me that I need to sit around and hope that this child will do the right thing and turn it in. She's like, well, yeah, you know, that's what happens. I was like, no, I'm going to have to call the police. And so I had to pick up my son, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I have to go get my son right now. Let me, I'll be back. She's like, oh, yeah, we can deal with this another day. You know, hopefully by then it's been sorted out. And yada. I'm like, oh, no, I'll be back in 5 minutes. And if you don't have a solution by then or figured out a way to solve this, I will be calling the police. And she turned white. And I know I look young for my age because she thought I was like just like this, you know. And I was like, nah, this is happening. And I was pissed. I was so mad because I remember as a kid, fucking teachers like confiscating shit from me all the time. And mind you, I left out the best part. This kid, after I take the phone to watch like the third time, he sent me a picture. I have his face on my phone. He sent me a picture going, and I even told the woman, look, this is him. Can't you just go get it from him? And she's like, no, you know, we can't do that. Da, da, da. And I'm just like, this bitch. Okay, whatever. She want to play this game? We can play this game. It's okay. So I got home, picked up my son, packed all the stuff I needed, and I went back to school. And I packed a bag because I'm like, because I got a baby, right? I don't know how long I'm going to be there. I needed snacks. I needed the iPad. I needed everything. Everything he could possibly need for in case the cops need to show up. I show up. I don't even walk through the gate. Another teacher comes out and he's like, hi, are you so-and-so's parent? I have her watch. I'm like, oh, I thought you guys weren't allowed to confiscate from them. He's like, I'm sorry. Why wouldn't we be able to do that if it's not theirs? I'm like, that's a good question because that's what your secretary told me, which is why we were going to get the authorities involved. And he's like, she's a sub, so I don't really think she knows all the rules. I'm like, yeah, I kind of think so. I'm like, I didn't even want to get the little kid in trouble. I just wanted the watch back. He's like, oh, so the whole cop thing was more of a response because basically she's telling you there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, that's exactly what it was. Thank you for noticing that. So basically he's like, oh, so how far do you want to escalate this? And I'm like, well, honestly, I just wanted to get the watch back. It turned out that my daughter's teacher takes all of the like electronics and like phones from the kids because my daughter's in first grade. She takes all the stuff, puts them in a bin, and then puts them on the desk. And then, so the teacher knew my daughter's watch was missing, which also pisses me off. She knew, or my daughter's watch was missing. She knew a bunch of stuff was missing. They found everybody else's but hers, and she didn't notify anybody. So I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, you know, the teacher feels like maybe it'll be better if she keeps it at home. I'm like, well, she's never been a problem. I've never gotten a phone call for her being a distraction with it. She's never gotten in trouble for it. Why would it need to go home? It's like, well, you know, maybe like she doesn't really need it. I'm like, no, I need to know where my child is at all times. And with all the crazy stuff that's going on right now in the world, I don't feel comfortable with her not having it. If she's not being a distraction and a problem, I would like her to have it. Also, come to find out, like a week later, a little boy kicks her in the stomach. And they still don't notify me. The only reason I got told of the situation is because my daughter came home, and she's like, "Mommy, I got kicked today." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "I got kicked in the stomach." And I'm like, "Well, what happened?" And she's like, "Well, so-and-so was playing with me, and he kicked me really hard, and he got in trouble." Then I have to call the school and be like, "Hi, I heard this happened." It's like, "Oh yeah, that happened like 2 days ago. You know, it was jotted down." I'm like, "Okay, why wasn't I notified that she got kicked?" And she's like, "Oh, well, you know, things happen," like that again, right? And I'm like, okay. So now I'm writing a log of every time something happens to her, because apparently I need to keep track of it, because they're not going to tell me. And if things continue to progress, there's going to be an issue. You're going to have trouble with that moment. It happened on stream because you were... I know, I was here, and I was like, that's really weird. And again, my daughter knows, if it's not an emergency, don't call. And it kept ringing and ringing, and I'm like, man, what is going on? Like, that's really strange. And sure enough, it was a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So yeah, that was my get my daughter's watch back situation. Piss. No, wait, I said Jenny, I'm sorry, but the government in your state probably won't do anything. Listen, I've flat out said to my daughter, if somebody hits you, fucking hit them asses back. Fucking equal rights means equal fights. Let's go. I flat out told her. She's like, "But mommy, what if I get in trouble?" If you're defending yourself from somebody, and this guy's already kicked you or hit you in the head, he kicked you in the stomach, next time you better kick him in the nuts or fucking knock his ass out, because enough is enough, and he's gonna learn to stop messing with you. She's like, "But what if I get in trouble?" If you get in trouble, if you get expelled, I will take you out for ice cream. I will not be mad at you for defending yourself. I will go to jail and fucking fight for you any way, shape, or form if need be. And I will not be upset at you. That's what I told her. Fucking let's go. I'll fight the parents. Let's go. Damn it, I got distracted. A fellow pilgrim, are you about to start your great journey to the Holy Citadel up top? I am no pilgrim, sir, though it seems we will be traveling a similar path. Not a pilgrim? Well, it makes no difference, I suppose. We all must walk the road up and up through. Most of us will fall long before we see the great gates. Also, my goal is also to hopefully finish this within 30 hours. I don't think I'll come close, but that's also my goal too. So I have two goals. Finish the ending that I'm missing and complete it within 30 hours. I don't think I'll ever do the... Has this tower guy always been back? Have you always been back there? A video of a high schooler beating up an elementary school girl. People were asking context. Maybe she was being racist. I mean, I feel like if somebody's being out of line, you know, certain contexts does kind of just like warrant like a more physical, like say like a little kid's coming and he has like a fork and he keeps stabbing you and you keep asking him and you take the fork. Yeah, that's a little kid. I think the most I would do is like yank the fork out of the kid's hand. But I'm also an adult. I'm not a teenager. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, no, there's no context that can warrant that. Like, she yeah, it don't matter if she's yeah, that's terrible. I take the fork and like yank them by the arm, and now they're just like dangling until I find their parent. I'll do that, but I'm not gonna beat the shit out of anybody. Aw, that's sad. It don't matter. She's 8 and she's sitting down. Like, to beat the shit out of an 8-year-old, like, there's hardly any reason to do that. That's just uncalled for. Oh, traveler destined for the Citadel, yes? Well, before you embark, won't you stop and make trade with an old pilgrim? I'd see your wares, madam, though I fear I may have nothing worthy. Okay, and this is the whole Rosemary thing. We can skip through that. I ain't got no money. He's making his little sign. What's this that you're building, sir? A sign? A well. That can actually warrant that kind of response on an 8-year-old. And even then, like, you can just like hold them and like that's it. But damn. Did it die? Why? What happened? Am I not moving? I'm moving. Am I not jumping? Strange. No, I'm still here. I'm still here. Hiya! Alright, so then we run into Sherma. What do you mean, rip? I'm still here! What happens if I don't talk to her first? I regret my life decisions. Ah! Getting better, getting better. We're having the technical issues.